Hey everyone, Josh Peacock here. And today we're going to be breaking down how I asked 55 agency owners to fill in an anonymous survey. The survey had around 20 questions around everything that happens with agency health. So, what actually happened in 2024? Is it all this doom and gloom that we keep on hearing about? And look, there's no doubt it's been a hard year for a lot of agencies, but there's also agencies out there that have had some of their best years and are continuing to grow. So I hope you find value and inspiration in our findings. And what I think makes this video really, really valuable is it's based on real anonymous data. So throughout this video, I'll be breaking down all 20 questions we asked. I promise you, you're not going to want to miss this. So, first of all, who am I? I've been running my agency for around 3 years now. Along the way, I've got to chat to some of the biggest agency owners in the world, and I've been lucky and fortunate enough to be able to call some of them my clients. So, as well as this, I just want to make this completely clear from the start. I am not pretending that I know all the answers to everything here. I am extremely young on my business journey, but I am here to try and find the answers from some of the best minds out there so that we can all increase our learning and business velocity and hopefully have some fun along the way. So let's jump straight into this. Okay, so the first question I asked 55 agency owners was, what's the revenue been like this year? So I think this is really, really interesting. We've got 56.5% seeing growth. We've got 30.4% maintaining stability, and we only seen a 13% decrease, which I think is really, really interesting. And the reason I think this is interesting is we hear about all this doom and gloom that's out there in the agency world right now. And look, there's a lot of redundancies, and it's not nice to see it all. But out of those 55 agency owners that we interviewed for this anonymous survey, more than half of them seen growth, nearly a third of them maintain stability. So yeah, really, really nice numbers to see there. Next up, what we've got is revenue expectations for 2025. So we've seen 69.6% expecting growth, which I love. A lot of optimism. I love that. We see 21.7% expecting stability, and then we've got 8.7% expecting a decline. And yeah, no, I know this is an anonymous survey, but I'd love to be able to find out who those agencies were and what kind of strategies they put in place. And I'm sure there'd be a lot of people that'd be able to help with that, but obviously we can't. So moving on, what we've got here is we've got responses to key strategies to contribute to the most revenue growth. So again, you'll be able to download this whole PDF in the link below. But what we've tried to do is I'm going to just try and summarize this. So a lot of people are saying that, yeah, combined service approach worked for them in terms of marketing, and they benefited being early to market a new proposition, but we relied on LinkedIn outreach primarily alongside events and webinars, building interest and hype. Really interesting thing that Neil Patel put out recently was a load of different content types and what gets the most reach, and webinars were right up there at the top. We've got brand exposure, we've got referrals and word of mouth, and we've got personal brands as well as being transparent and honest, providing expert advice on social media. Love that. So I was at a mastermind in Miami with Ryan Stewart was hosting it, and it was acquisition bootcamp. And I swear about 90% of the whole 2 day event was all to do with video content going into 2025. And I think we're seeing it everywhere where most platforms are favoring the algorithm is just pushing video everywhere. I've got a few friends. I've got a friend that's got something like 765,000 impressions on Instagram in the last 30 days. And all he's doing is just doing reels with like quotes about his expertise. I've got a friend, Ray, who's decided to post on LinkedIn video this year, and it's just been taken off. So I think that's going to be pushed a lot. Next thing, we've got teams. So SEO, practicing what we preach. That's great. We've got staff retention, strong recruitment, getting top results, retaining customers and getting them to refer us. Operational structure, big focus on team by bringing other passionate SEO on board. Absolutely fantastic. Love that. Team of A players and retention. We've got niching down hard, moving up market. Not much to do with strategy, just who we service tripled our average order value. That's great to see. Increasing existing and client revenue. The probability of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%, while the probability of selling to a new customer is 5 to 20%. Love that. Agency acquisition and strategic partnerships.
Our revenue is not very lumpy. We just do SEO. Digital PR, SEO, content, all that stuff that fits under that, SEO bucket. So it's all monthly recurring revenue. So we don't have that lumpiness of new projects coming in. So when a new project comes in, obviously we need to resource that, but we've already got money to resource that. So that's been obviously amazing, and it allowed me to bootstrap the business without any investment and scale it internationally without taking investment and to do all those good things. But in a downturn's more interesting because a lot of companies go through downturns. What do you do? How do you manage cash flow? I've always been of the mind, in a downturn, I will take the hit. Just like in an upturn, I take the profit. In a downturn, I take the hit. So profitability drops in a downturn. Our revenue's grown significantly year on year, both in the UK and Australia. We probably did another, 3-4 million in revenue in Australia this year. However, our profitability has almost gone down like significantly, which means we'll probably make as much money as we would have last year, even though we've got significantly more revenue. That's a hit that I take, and that's good that I don't have investors, or that we're an independent, so that I can do that. But that's the reality of when you're in a downturn. You have to invest in new systems, new processes, so that hopefully in 2-3 years time I see the fruits of that. But in business, as many people would know, it's not always just win 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 win.
Next up, what we have is the most significant obstacles hindering agency growth this year. So we have a massive, what is that, 26.1%. That's due to client acquisition. So again, I'd love to know what kind of client acquisition strategy are these guys putting in place to try and improve that in 2025. We've got talent shortage affecting 17.7%. I know it's going to be a very biased point of view from me, but I think where a lot of agencies go wrong with this is they rely solely on job boards to try and find that qualified talent. And the way I look at it is that A player talent is not out there just refreshing job boards. They're out there in the trenches doing the work. So again, this might sound biased, but I guarantee if you chat to a specialized recruiter in your niche, your this problem will be solved. But yeah, a lot of other data in there. Again, as I said, you'll be able to download this below so you can kind of take a deeper dive into it. We've got the biggest challenges agencies are currently facing. So we've got clients, so referral pipeline problems, increasing retainer values, and managing client expectations. We've got competition, competitors undercutting prices and offering money back guarantees. We've got cash flow. We've just received termination notice from our second biggest client. So we've experienced uncertainty around cash flow. Again, this Agency Growth Club podcast that I've got, cash flows, I think I asked 3 questions about cash flow in nearly every episode. That's super, super interesting just to see where these big agency owners have gone wrong in their cash flow journey and what they've done to fix that. So you guys should tune into some of them. We've got scaling. So not enough money to reinvest properly into the back end of growing other parts of the business. Profitability. Yeah, that's a big one. Integrating additional services, not having a scalable, consistent, reliable growth channel in place. Recruiting SEOs in lower cost labor market. Very interesting. Having the right team members to deliver consistently. We've got adaptability and we've got the economy.
The most expensive lesson was probably also the what I consider to be my largest professional mistake, which was I decided to buy an agency in the end of 2017. And when I started putting that deal together, another one kind of came up at the same time. And so I didn't expect the deals to close as close to one another as they did, but I found myself in a position where I think the first agency deal, like acquisition, closed on January 6th of 2018, and the second one was like January 12th, so like 6 days apart. And looking back at it, I don't know what I was thinking. I had never bought an agency before. And like having just the pure ego to think that I could not only integrate one set of team members and one set of clients into my team and my clients and my workflow. But the gall to think that I could do it with 2 agencies at the same time was like completely insane. It's like kind of psychopathic to think that I could make that actually work. It didn't work. It went horribly wrong. So in the first probably 6 months, we churned probably 30% of the client revenue that we acquired. So like millions of dollars, and lost a bunch of incredible team members, just because, the organizational planning that me and my partners had laid out that we thought would work didn't work. Just because of a sheer lack of experience. I think the biggest lesson, the more expensive lesson, right, if we just look at the client revenue side of things, was thinking that we could buy clients that were used to being delivered the same services, but being delivered those services in a different way, and just being like, well, we don't do it that way, and so we're just going to deliver these people that are paying for these services. We're just going to deliver these services the way that we deliver them for everybody else, and thinking that like clients would just be okay with that. They would just, be so thrilled to be working with us. They weren't, and so it was like just just bled hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for a while. Pretty much through all of 2018, actually. It was a rough year, but a very expensive lesson.
Next up, what we have is which services have been the highest demand this year. Now, yes, this is going to be a bit biased because obviously my company is SEO for hire. So we did ask a lot of digital marketing agencies that focus primarily on SEO. So yeah, we've got a whopping 65.2% on SEO. We're seeing 8.7% on digital PR. I think digital PR really took off in 2024. We saw it across a lot of our clients. A lot of clients that solely kind of just did SEO that wanted to open like digital PR departments. And yeah, what we find really interesting is that we had Australian clients and US clients and UK clients wanting to do that. But where we really find the talent time and time again, I was in the UK market for digital PR. It's like 3 or 4 years behind in Australia and in the US, which I thought was very, very interesting. Next up, we have marketing channels. So, which have been the most effective in driving new client acquisition? So, 43.5% is referrals. Again, that mastermind I went to in Miami, one of the first questions Ryan Stewart asked everyone, there must have been 30, 40 people at the event, was how does everybody get most of their clients? And again, everybody just put their hands up when it was referrals. And there's people in there that had agencies for 2 decades. So Ryan's whole thesis was trying to change the relying solely on referrals, because you don't know when they're going to come in, you don't know how many you can come in, to an actual lead machine so that you can actually look at the numbers and stuff, which I thought was very interesting. But yeah, massive percentage there. Again, you'll be able to go through all the rest that we've got in there if you download it. So we've got sales tactics or strategies that have led to highest conversion rates. So 56.5% networking referrals is the most effective sales strategy for agency owners. I think that's so interesting. One thing that I feel like in 2024, people kind of ignored LinkedIn posts that were talking about networking because it was kind of like a buzzword. But I think that's fantastic. I think one thing that we try to do is we try to get over to the US. We try to get over and like meet our clients face to face, go to as many events that our clients and prospects are going to, so we can actually meet them, sit down with them, and not just talk about business, but like just catch up and have actual real life conversations. But I think a lot of businesses and people are missing right now, since everything's kind of just gone on digital, and yeah, it's just not the same as a Zoom call, is it? But yeah, really interesting that more than half of the agency owners have got their conversions through networking. And again, we've got webinars and workshops up there, 13%. So educational content, leveraging SEO, LinkedIn, and other referral methods up there as well. This is a really interesting one. So new technology or platforms agencies are planning to invest in for the future. 31.8% were prioritized investments in AI and machine learning tools, which I think is really interesting. I feel like if you're on LinkedIn and you hit the refresh button, nearly everybody's coming out with some kind of AI tool that helps. But whatever it is, it's mostly I'm saying content at the minute. But yeah, super interesting there. We've got marketing automation platforms, so 18.2%. But yeah, no real surprise there.
right? Most SEOs are selling a service when they should be selling an outcome. It's really that simple. It's really, really that simple. I actually just published this book. It's on Amazon. I just want to plug it real quick. In the opening chapter, it's funny because one of the things I talk about here is like the history of agencies, right? And I go back, history of agencies and consultancies for how long agencies have been around and why I make the case for why I think it's a great business model for the future as well. If you're solving a problem that needs to be solved, there will always be a need for your agency, period. The problem with SEOs is that somewhere along the line, this became about professional services as opposed to marketing and growth. The agency market is going to be fine, but there's always cycles that will purge out the bottom, call it 25, 50. I don't know what that percentage is or where they got that number from, but like bad businesses are always going to fail. Like in a capitalist society, which we operate in, businesses are always going to need more customers, period. Right? So if that's what the focus of your business is and you're good at it, then you're going to be absolutely fine.
So again, this is just a bit more about the actual data that we covered. So how many employees do you have? This kind of just shows a bit more about the people that we interviewed. So again, we've got 1 to 5 being 30% of that, so filling up about a third. We've got 6 to 10 at 8.7%. We've got 11 to 20 staff at 26.1%. We've got 21 to 50 staff at 26.1%. 51 to 100 staff at 8.7, and that was it. We didn't have anybody at 100 plus staff, so this is more for the small to medium range agencies. I thought this was a very interesting question. So again, what is your agency's primary focus? Yeah, no surprise there. A lot of our people that I'm in contact with agency owners are primarily SEO focused in a digital marketing agency. So yeah, big push there on SEO side. But we've also got a 17.4% on a mix. So yeah, again, it was interesting at that acquisition boot camp in Miami. Ryan was just talking a lot about, once you get in with the client, like he's not going to say no if they need help setting up an email list, if they need set up on lead magnets or anything else on the back end. Like if his team are capable of doing it, he's going to try and provide the best service for that client. Which is interesting because I know a lot of clients as well that we had Harry Sanders, founder of Studio Hawk on. Like he's known for just doing SEO. Like they've got the capital and they've got the expertise and the talent pipeline to bring in, let's say, a paid media team and do that. But that's not what they want to do. They just want to go just hardcore on this is what we do. It's just SEO. So pretty interesting there.
There's a couple things, I mentioned product market fit. I wish that I would have never, ever offered geographic exclusivity. It's so like, it's a joke in the space. All these people like put it up on, that they're honorable or some value of only taking one client in the market. But here's the thing. All your clients have different objectives. We know from a local SEO perspective, after 3 to 4 miles, they don't rank in the same capacity. I mean, look at all these local Falcon searches. And here's the big one. If you're actually good and you keep your clients, we don't want to restrict our clients' ability to grow. So if you have a client in Miami that wants to go to Austin, we want to help them. We don't want to say, oh, Austin's taken. Let me introduce you to a new agency. It's such a joke. People hold this like high standard exclusivity.
And again, here, we've kind of just done like a synopsis of it, but you'll be able to download this in the show notes. So what emerging trends do you believe we will have that will have the biggest impact on the SEO industry in the next 1 to 2 years? So yeah, there's no surprise there. A lot of that is AI. You can pause this and have a read of some of them there. We've got topical authority. We've got video. Again, I think, I actually think this one's worth reading out. Rich media is going to become more and more important. Any way you can improve your real business will be important. Fixing all of the AI editing garbage that obliterated a lot of sites will be important. We've seen signs of this part of the market increase now. Not even AI content, just bad human content needed editing. And then, of course, on the Google side, you've got the possible breakup of Google. You've got Google's most recent lawsuit that came out, competing search engines. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on there. Here we've got how does AI and automation impact your current workflow and efficiency? So 34.8% of agency owners see the primary impact of AI and automation in automating repetitive tasks, such as scheduling or reporting, significantly improving efficiency, which is great to see. So yeah, again, some really interesting data there. You've got enhancing data analysis and insights at 13%, allowing more time for strategic planning at 13%. That's a big thing that I use it for. So yeah, some really interesting data there. What's your biggest concern about the future of the SEO industry? So again, we asked 55 agency owners this. AI, again, no surprises that's there. AI taking over without any humanity to the marketing copyright. AGI, more adaptability. I think it's always changes. I think it's always changes to the SERPs. It's not just about being great at SEO. I think agencies need to be prepared to divert one way to become an expert in other areas such as TikTok, CRM, and CRO. Interesting. Keeping up with the algorithm updates. I feel like that's impossible right now. Being proactive and not reactive to them. Google taking away our traffic, optimizing for more of a range of search engines. SEO and business lack of understanding about SEO. I think that's one of the most important ones. We have a free resource all about teaching the SEOs how to communicate effectively to C level CMOs, anybody that's executive level. And in that, it's basically, we've got like a whole table all about translating SEO to business impact, which I think is really, really interesting. And it's something that we actually incorporate into our vetting process as well. And of course, we've got competition there as well. Agencies lowering prices and the lack of regulation across the sector. Clients moving away from agency-based SEO and hiring in-house. I understand the logic, but it's not great for the agency industry. Higher barrier of education to clients. And competitors can do more for cheaper. If you can't replicate this, you will die. What strategies do you believe are essential for long-term success? We've got team development there. That's a given. Continued development, growth to the team and getting updated. Communication, consistent high quality manual human approach, foundations, networking. Other than that, we haven't really looked at networking yet. So one we're going to explore alongside a strategic cold outreach strategy. Yeah, some really interesting data again there. What resources would be most valuable to help your agency grow? This is honestly for anybody out there looking to lead generation. If you're trying to get in touch with agencies, screenshot this and just go build a few lead magnets on this. But yeah, we've got guides, we've got networking workshops and collaboration platforms, P&L breakdowns, which I think is a super interesting one. We recently had a call with an agency owner who's a client of ours, who is just sick of chatting to junior SEOs that do not understand the P&L, do not understand business. And one thing that I kind of said to them, I fully agree with them. I think that SEOs and anybody that understands that their work can have a direct impact on the bottom line should be able and should be taught everything to do with P&Ls and how businesses actually work. And I said this to our client. I said, why don't we try and bring somebody in junior, and why don't you just teach them about P&L? Because it doesn't take too long, and you can actually like try and teach them from the business impact on that. And the reason that we did that as well is that it wasn't the highest salary, so we were just bringing somebody in junior, and yeah, trying to make this client a bit more passionate about actually teaching the business acumen to that SEO. We've got very authentic breakdowns of ACV, increased strategies, churn reduction, partnerships, dinners with ecom founders. Interesting. How to effectively run a multi-channel cold outreach campaign, email, phone, and snail mail combined. Private masterminds. I think that's a massive one. Agency groups, networking with agency owners who are doing 20, 30 million a year. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to be in that. So I learn more about that. Sponsorship opportunities, getting more SEO analysts that are both good at SEOs as well as good with account management and setting expectations. Yeah, recruitment, of course, is in there. So yeah, that's the 55 agency owners report that we did. That was the 20 questions. I hope you had some kind of value from that. It's a bit weird for me. This is one of the first videos where I've just kind of like gone through everything. I've set myself a target to do 24 videos this year, so you'll be seeing my face a lot more. But what you can do if you are having trouble with recruitment, anything from headhunting, we've basically given away a free hiring OS system. So it's a copy and paste system from everything from interview processes, job descriptions, how to shortlist, employer branding, job market competition, everything in there to onboarding system, leadership playbook. There's so much data in there. So again, that's free. You'll be able to download that either on our website or somewhere in the link below. But yeah, that's all for today. So no, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if I was a bit all over the place. As I said, this is my first kind of, I was going to say long form. It's a long form video for me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed making it. So yeah, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button below. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.